The only thing that's afraid of death is the identity itself. And there is this study. Have you ever heard of the silver fox experiments they did in Russia? It was during the Cold War. And they wanted to see if they could domesticate silver foxes. And they ended up with three groups. They ended up with one group that was basically the same type of animal, silver fox, almost like a control. They ended up with another group that it was silver foxes with pointier ears and longer, bushier tails that were extremely aggressive toward human beings. And then they ended up with a third group that was floppy eared, tails curled over their back, and they were smaller silver foxes. And what they realized is the ones that were really friendly toward human beings, these ones with the floppy ears, perpetually remained in some kind of state of adolescence, just with their behaviors and things along those lines. It's wolves, for instance. Wolf pups are the only wolves that bark, and all dogs are descended from wolves. And so now we have basically these perpetually adolescent animals that live with us. I think this probably happens with human beings. Self domestication is something that kind of has happened over time. When they talk about default mode network and all these things, I think ego is an aspect of the adolescent self. I think ego is formed at an age where children need to survive, because if you look at our ancestors, men would be out hunting, women would be hunting and gathering. Child mortality was very high during this period of time. So if you had enough of an ego, a strong enough protection mechanism, you were likely to survive until you could take care of yourself. And so if you look at cultures for a long period of time, thousands and thousands of years, we've had rite of passage rituals. In my sense that these about the actual purpose of these rite of passage rituals were to get the adolescent ego to recognize that there's more to the story. And that's, I think, what awakening is. This is a natural process. This is built into everyone. And we just have to allow it. That transition, that rite of passage, oftentimes had a death element to it. There was a death of something. It was so difficult that an aspect of your past self would have to die. It sounds very much like awakening to me.